Welcome and good morning. The ceremony will start in just a few minutes. The procession is on its way. Can you please ensure that all mobile phones are switched off or on silent, please? There is no personal photography during this ceremony. If you need to purchase any photographs, some professional photographs and videos are being streamed live on YouTube. In the extremely unlikely event that we need to exit the building in a hurry, please remain seated, and the ushers you've seen coming in today will show you the quickest route out of the building. Unfortunately, if children are in and become unsettled, we may ask them to leave. Finally, to our graduates, may I be the first to congratulate you on your achievement. When your name is called, can you please step up onto the stage? You will shake hands with the Chancellor, and once you're doing that, if you look this way, a photographer will take your photograph. Once that's completed, if you can walk down the centre of the aisles, the ushers will show you back to a seat. Thank you very much, and please enjoy the ceremony today. If you all please stand for the procession.
Please be seated.
Good morning. My name is Mary Archer, and I have the great honour of being the Chancellor of the University. And in that capacity, it's my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the University to this graduation ceremony. Today is a very special day for all you budding lawyers, and indeed for those who have taught you, because getting a degree from the University of Buckingham is a real achievement and something of which you will always be proud. You've enjoyed the benefits of a very high standard of teaching from dedicated staff, and I know you will have studied long and hard to achieve your goals. I hope with the final relaxation of the pandemic restrictions, you've been able to take many opportunities to be a full part of the diverse and multicultural student body which we have here, which will have introduced you to people, experiences, traditions, cultures, and friends from across the world. You are the latest in a long and lengthening line of distinguished graduates from the university. As you look back on your time here and remember the support and encouragement you received, we hope you will act as an ambassador for your university and continue to enhance our outstanding reputation. I congratulate each and every one of you and wish you all the best in your future careers. Thank you.
Chancellor Dame Mary, the Right Honourable Baroness Scotland, Sir Francis Habgood, Sir Ivan Lawrence, Ambassador Sarafidin Kunle, Miss Rebecca Peake, Otunba Ayedeji, and Adibola Osibogun, Chancellor Mr. Howard Mordew, beloved friends of the university, distinguished distinguished graduates, members of faculty, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, I hope. Forgive me if otherwise. Forgive me. The good news I can bring straight away before I get to my speech is the rain has stopped outside. And so we can look forward to a dry walk down to the marquee. Dear graduates, as the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Buckingham, I am proud to welcome you to this important milestone in your lives. Today marks the culmination of years of hard work and dedication, and it is a testament to your commitment to learning and growth. Congratulations. Your loved ones, I know, have supported you and deserve credit. You have earned the honors which we bestow upon you this morning. Yesterday in the graduation ceremony, we had students graduating with artificial intelligence as part of their degrees. And artificial intelligence is very much in the news now. I'm sure you recall seeing an open letter signed by Elon Musk yesterday, and many others, highlighting the real risk to society of AI. In today's Daily Telegraph, someone is comparing it to the invention of the nuclear bomb. We graduated yesterday, as I say, and after the ceremony I discussed with AI, with an alumni and the Dean of Computing, and they presented me with a challenge. They said they will write a graduation speech using ChatBGT. And would I read it? Now, I won't read it. I'm too much of a traditionalist. I will read my own speech. However, I have inserted 2.5 paragraphs from the ChatBGT speech in my speech. And afterwards, when we mingle in the marquee, I want you to tell me which paragraphs you thought were not mine. And if nothing else, that gives you an incentive to listen to my speech. So today you arrive, of course, the paragraph may have already been said. Today you arrive as graduates of the University of Buckingham and leave as graduates. And it's particularly memorable that you are graduating in 2023, the 40th anniversary of our Royal Charter, granted in 1983. That made us a university proper. Before that, from 1976, we were a university college. So given the importance of our history, please indulge me as I give you a very potted history, indeed, of the university. From the beginning, the modern university grew out of its medieval forebears, starting with the University of Bologna in 1088, followed by Paris and Oxford in the mid-12th century. Importantly, and this is important for the history of the University of Buckingham too, the medieval university had two distinctive features. First, independence. Indeed, that word is embodied in the very definition of university. University comes from the Latin universitas, which is an abbreviation of Universitas Magistrorum et Scholarium, which means an independent, self-governing corporation of scholars and students. Independence, and second, academic freedom. That was also a crucial characteristic of the early university. Bologna adopted the Authentica Habita in about 1155, which guaranteed certain rights and privileges to traveling scholars. And just as the Magna Carta, you all know about the Magna Carta of 1215, is widely seen as the basis for political rights and freedoms today, so the Authentica Habita is widely recognized as the origin of academic freedom in universities. So why the University of Buckingham? It was founded because distinguished academics back in the late 1960s and early 1970s, and they were distinguished academics. They were led by Sir Sidney Kane, who was the director of the London School of Economics. Back then, distinguished academics thought that the independence of universities and academic freedom were being undermined. This is even more relevant, I think, today. 50 years ago, the documents for the University College were signed and a board of patrons was established with eminent members such as the Archbishop of Canterbury, the Chief Rabbi, Yehudi Menuhin, and one Margaret Thatcher. And Margaret Thatcher was involved from the university from the very beginning. Indeed, on this spot in 1976, she gave our first matriculation ceremony to a few law students who were just joining us then. It's 1976, she'd just become the leader of Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition, and she went later on, of course, to become the UK's first female Prime Minister and the longest-serving Prime Minister of the 20th century. And from this spot, she gave a speech and she said, "Independence, we must remember, is not a gift. It is not something that governments confer, but something that a free people enjoys and uses. Freedom," she said, "requires vigor and imagination in using the opportunities available." But she continued, "Unless we are worthy and able to take advantage of freedom not yet extinguished in our land, we shall become pale shadows like civilizations before us, who were eventually thrust aside and disposed by more vigorous rivals." This reminds us that progress is not just about breaking new ground. It is also about preserving the values and traditions that have brought us thus far. Our values and traditions of academic freedom and free speech, of course, are set within the context of academic excellence and the belief in the vitality and relevance of the great academic traditions. At university, you will, I hope, have been challenged. You will have had your ideas challenged, and with ideas that maybe seemed unpalatable, dangerous even. That's all to the good, in my view. University is not a safe space from challenging ideas. It does not require any trigger warnings or cancel culture, but it is and should be a safe space to explore ideas and argument and evidence wherever they lead. From looking back to the past, let's look to the future, to your futures. For what it's worth, here are 3 or 4 things I've learned during my time that I want to pass on to you this morning. First, we're not here for very long. I don't mean here at Buckingham. I know the degrees are shorter than elsewhere, but we're not here on this planet very long. I sometimes remind myself that if you live to an average age of 80, then you only have 4,000 weeks on this planet. If 90, it's 4,500 weeks. That really puts it into perspective for me. Robert Baden-Powell, the founder of the Scouts and the Guides movement, founded in 1907, today with over 43 million members in 216 countries, he said, looking back over his own life, "The great thing that strikes you looking back is how very brief is the span of life on this earth." And for him, the conclusion was clear. The warning that one would give, he said, is that it is well not to fritter it away on things that don't count in the end. I think we all know what that frittering would be, and I think it's really sound advice to challenge ourselves on that. But second, that's quite an austere vision. Second, do live with being happy, not as one of your goals, that way lies failure, but as one of your achievements, as one of the effects of what you do. You can be happy with family and friends. Everyone can be happy with family and friends and cherish them and keep them close to you as you go through life. John Lennon, the Beatle who was tragically murdered when he was 40, told this story. "When I was 5 years old, my mother always told me that happiness was the key to life. When I went to school, they asked me to write down what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down happy. They told me I didn't understand the assignment. Now I realize they didn't understand life." Again, that seems to be good advice encapsulated in that story. Third, don't let failure get in your way. You're going to start ventures, whether your own business, employment in law practices, relationships, and many of us, most of us, will experience failure in these endeavors. So when things go wrong, follow the advice of that wonderful old song from 1936. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again. Winston Churchill, who knew more about failure than most successful people, said, "Success is the ability to go from one failure to another with no loss of enthusiasm." And here's the Dalai Lama, who incidentally, in this week in 1959, fled Tibet to asylum in India. He said, "Sometimes things go wrong, that's normal. But we have a saying in Tibetan, 9 times fail, 9 times try again." Finally, do try to change the world. When you're young especially, but I can tell you it doesn't necessarily end when you're young, and I feel the same. You want to change the world for the better in terms of your ideas, beliefs, and values. On this, Mahatma Gandhi famously told us to first be the change that you wish to see in the world. I interpret this as meaning that we must reflect on who we are and what we need to change about ourselves before we attempt to change the world. But by doing that, we can change the world. And sometimes we need to believe in impossible things to bring about the change. Margaret Thatcher told her local newspaper in 1970, "There will not be a woman prime minister in my lifetime because the male population is too prejudiced." Just 9 years later, she became that first woman prime minister. But often we feel too insignificant, don't we, to make a difference? And the Dalai Lama had something to say about that too. If you think you're too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito in the room. At the end of this service, you will be graduates and therefore alumni of this university. Someone once said, "Give the ones you love wings to fly, roots to come back, and reasons to stay." And I'm speaking, I'm sure, on behalf of the faculty here, but we do love our students. We love them and want them to succeed, and we cherish their achievements and all they do. And it reminds me, that saying of our motto, Alice Proprius Volans, flying on our own wings. I'd like to think we have helped you get wings. Well, we have. You've got your degrees, you've got your experiences. All these will enable you to fly. But also, we want to be a strong part of your roots too. We want to give you reasons to come back, reasons to stay, metaphorically, but also physically. Do see yourselves as part of a growing international family of alumni of the University of Buckingham. So go out into the world armed with the knowledge and skills you have gained at the University of Buckingham. Congratulations once again on your graduation, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Chancellor, I call upon Professor Adolfo Paolini, Associate Dean of Law, to present candidates for awards of the University of Buckingham in Law.
Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Right Honourable the Baron of Scotland, distinguished guests, dear colleagues, dear students, what makes a good lawyer? Recently, I had the opportunity of welcoming new students into our vibrant school. Today, I find myself at the other end of the spectrum, alongside the university authorities, acknowledging success by awarding you a well-deserved degree. On that occasion, I quoted Thomas A. Kempis, "The inner of life on purity of mind and simplicity of purpose." Yet, his words seem to be equally relevant today. There are two winds that raise a man above earthly things: simplicity and purity. Simplicity reaches out after God. Purity discovers and enjoys him. No good deed will prove an obstacle to you if you are inwardly free from uncontrolled desires. Building on our motto, Alis Propriis Volans, and the eloquent words of our Vice Chancellor, I have no doubt that you are going to fly very high. But please remember, the higher you fly, the wider the horizon. Thus the possibility of perceiving more injustice and inequity. In answering the question, what makes a good lawyer? Well, that is a professional who uses knowledge to build a wingspan strong enough not only to go far, but also to shield and protect our society for any act or omission that ignores our basic rights and aspirations. Be ambitious, but be very careful with obsessions. The latter cause more harm than the former. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wisely wrote, "Never allow yourself to be swept off your feet. When an impulse steers, see first that it will meet the claims of justice. When an impression forms, assure yourself first of its certainty." Such level of care will steer your life and the life of those around you. Therefore, be prudent, but do not be scared. Purity of heart will give you the strength and the best possible experience to beat the odds of life. On behalf of the university and the law school, many congratulations. Fly high. Always protect us and never forget that you are part of this institution, your university. Well done. Chancellor, I present to you the graduates in law. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in law, Adekunle Osibogun, having submitted a thesis entitled "Effectiveness of Constitutional Powers of the Legislature and Checks and Balancing Mechanisms on Executive Presidential Functions within the Commonwealth, a comparative case study of Nigeria and Kenya." Neelam Singh, having submitted a thesis entitled "The Effect of World Trade Organization TRIPS Agreement on Access to Medicines, Questioning India's Title as Pharmacy of the World." Natalie Turney, having submitted a thesis entitled "The Fair Prosecution Agreements, the Position of United Kingdom Company Directors and the Impact on Directors and Officers' Liability Insurance." For the degree of Master of Laws by Research, Sarasadat Shamurari Savare. For the degree of Master of Laws in International and Commercial Law, CIMA. Joseph Enzua. Modupeola Fabiwe with distinction. Omolade Lawal. Oluwafoyin Solami Olambiwoninu with distinction. Cliché Sands. For the degree of Bachelor of Laws, Adekunle Adebayo. Adeyinka Adesopi with first-class honors. Pericles Agalopoulos with first-class honors. Gabriel Ayubina with first-class honors. Emeka Akaleme. Sina Al-Ajiali with first-class honors. Annabelle Awosika with first-class honors. Oluwajimi Bali with first-class honors. Simran Bath. Benjamin Bazzini. Isaac Beasley. Madison Bennett. Gemma Brown. Ellie Cahun. Jamie De Jong. Tokoni Bosin Ebikeme. Vanessa Elumelu. Adebayo Fasinru. Preya Grewal with first-class honors. Uroš Vovdenovic with first-class honors. Holian Hare. Cora Hunter with first-class honors. Megan Huntington. Brandon Impey. Nicholas Yeager Nathan with first class honors. Georgina Jones. Karina Karagyosova. Khadija Keita. Shiva Coretta. Simon Peters Mwokbu with first class honors. Callum Mulligan. Aruba Nadine. Tasiemovi Wisi with first class honors. Gloria Yarko. Adeola Oduwole. Stephanie Palmer with first class honors. Hannah Parmenter with first class honors. Nityan Dan Paul Darshan. Shivani Rakumar Kandia. Summer Russell with first class honors. Upkar Sangha. Corina Seagroat with first class honors. Arulen Sinivasin. Ajibola Chasor. Daniel Sullivan with first class honors. Rebecca Quimeni Israel with first class honors. Christine Tellin with first class honors. Olivia Turner Robson. Samuel Wells with first class honors. For the posthumous degree of Bachelor of Laws, I welcome the family of Joseph Oluwarotimi Fashkin. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation.
Chancellor, the Right Honourable Baroness Scotland will now address the graduates.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, Your Excellencies, members of the faculty, but most importantly, graduands, many congratulations. This is a remarkable day. One of the privileges that I've had in coming to such graduations is that I get to look at all the graduands before they get their degree. So let me tell you what I saw this morning. I saw people anxiously fidgeting. I saw people wondering how on earth they'd got here. I saw people thinking, is this really real? And the fear on your faces was something that I found really electrifying to watch. So I want to say to you, yes, you really are here. Yes, you really now have got the degree. And yes, you actually deserved it. So this is not a dream, it's a reality. And then I'm going to tell you, I know that you are all courageous, and you really do need to have courage to be a good lawyer. Why do I know that the women lawyers who have just graduated are courageous? Because I looked at your shoes. That took courage. And gentlemen, how often have you worn a tie? This was a remarkable moment for your families who also worried about whether you would make it. And so I want to take a moment of my time, if I may, just to say the warmest and heartfelt thank you to all the people who've loved you, who've cared for you, who've worked with you and walked with you. Not just the great teachers and professors on this platform, but most importantly, all of those who are here with you today. And you know how hard it has been. And I'm going to, if I may, just talk to the members of your family just for a moment. Now, truthfully, did you think they could do this? Because I know you believed in them, you hoped for them, but the fact that you walked with them is the reason that they are here today. And you know how you long to hear someone say thank you to you. And I'm sure that this lot haven't said it yet or forcefully enough. So one of my roles is to give them an opportunity to express their love, their appreciation, and their thanks to you. And I hope that they'll make as much noise as they made before. So are you ready? Yes. Excuse me? Yes. I can't hear you. Yes. There you are. So I want you now, with all your heart, to say thank you to all the people who are here today. And I also want you to say thank you to the colleagues who were with you, but who are not with you today, but who are in your heart. The family who has posthumously received the award on behalf of the person you love, who should have been here, who isn't here, but is here right here. So are you ready for that? Yes. So we're going to say thank you. And I'm going to ask you to have 3 cheers. Hip, hip, hooray. Right? And I want all your voices. Hip, hip! Hooray! Hip, hip! Hooray! Hip, hip! Hooray! Now, is that good enough? Because this is the start of your journey. Not the end. It's the end of the beginning. And I want to tell you that you are in for the most wonderful, amazing ride. The reason I can say that is I can remember being exactly where you are today. And the Chancellor, the Vice-Chancellor, mentioned the year of 1976. Now, although you understand that I am but 21, in 1976, I too came to receive my first degree, my law degree. I was 20. I had no idea what the world had waiting for me. And at that time, in 1976, as a black woman growing up in the United Kingdom and aspiring to be a lawyer, most people thought that what I was trying to do was impossible. At that stage, only about 3% of the legal profession were women, and about 0.01% were black. And they said that I might have had the quality to be a lawyer, but the opportunity was not necessarily going to be mine. And so I want to tell you what law does for you. Law teaches you and gives you the tools you need, if you choose, to change the world. And I want to tell you that each of you are the arbiters of your own good fortune. You have to dream big dreams. You have to see the world not as it is now, but as it could be if you have the courage and passion and determination to reshape it. The fact that you have achieved what you have achieved today means you can do it if you choose. I want you to remember all the times you thought you couldn't do this. It was too much. It was too hard. It was too difficult. You came through one of the worst times. Everyone here has experienced COVID. Some of us lost people we loved. Some of us have people in our families who are still suffering the after effects. All of us went through isolation and difficulty and challenge. And yet, you came through it. You did it. Which means there is no doubt that you are able to mount every mountain that is still before you. And let me tell you that there is nothing more extraordinary than being allowed to help to shape the laws by which we will be governed. Because many may have told you, some told me, that there is a difference between law and between justice. I want to tell you there is not. There is not. The law is the tool we use to wield and wield skillfully to deliver justice and to deliver justice for everyone. And if the law is unfair, it is our duty to change it. In Henry VI, they said, kill all the lawyers. Do you know why? Because we are the ones who stand up against injustice, unfairness. We stand in the gap and we fight. But we don't fight with swords and shields. We fight with words, and we deliver justice for all. And we are living in extraordinary times. We are facing a polycrisis, whether it's climate change, or the war in Ukraine, or the difficulties that come through food insecurity as the result, the financial crisis. And we need a new structure. In 1945, the lawyers came together to put the Bretton Woods institutions together. When Nelson Mandela sought freedom, it was the lawyers who crafted it. In Langkawi, in Malaysia, in 1989, it was the lawyers who struck the new structure for climate change. So right now, we have a new challenge, a new era, and it'll be down to you to craft the justice system of tomorrow. Not just in terms of becoming practitioners, but many of you will go into business. You'll go into parliament. We may have before us the prime ministers, the presidents, and the secretaries of state of tomorrow. And so it's going to be down to you. And I want to tell you, you can do that because you are our future. And you can craft that future anywhere you choose. I want to tell you I disagree with Elon Musk about the danger of AI. AI is like a scalpel put into the hands of a thoracic surgeon or a robber. It depends on how you use it. And we have a really powerful role because AI, used not in accordance to our values, not structured by our beliefs, left unwielded by any restriction, is indeed dangerous. But it's up to us as to how it is used and shaped. We get to make the rules. And right now in the Commonwealth, we are doing just that. I've just launched Simply Learn, which is giving 10,000 spaces for young people to learn about AI, how to use it, but how to use it sustainably and responsibly. 2 days ago, we launched something similar with Intel on how to use it in governments. So please don't be afraid of the new technology. Every generation has been afraid. I think when we stopped using the feathered pen, which was used by Shakespeare, they said the world is over. We can't use printers. If we have printers, everyone will be out of work. I remember when I was your age, nobody used computers. And they said, if we had computers, there'd be no more need for lawyers. Well, we've been a profession for a number of, 2,000 years? And they can't get rid of us yet. So human genius has got us into a lot of this mess that we're in today. But human genius is going to get us out. And you are part of that human genius. So if you see a problem in the world, know you are the solution. And you can do it if you choose. I know that one of the problems that we've had right now is that there has been so many separations between us. You have had at least a year to get to know the people who are sitting on your benches. And I loved the fact that as each as you came up, you expressed that love and that affection and that kindness. You won't just need it today. You will need it in the years to come. And there will be failures. And I want to tell you about 3 people who, in 1978, were thought to have failed. There were 3 young barristers who were amongst the 4 barristers going for a tenancy. One was Geoffrey Voss, the other was Andrew Hockhauser, and the third was this really ridiculous woman called Patricia Scotland. 4 of us went for a seat in Chambers, and the 3 did not succeed. Now, of the 4, the only person who did not take silk and did not become a Queen's Counsel was the person who was given that tenancy. The 3 of us left, so some would have said we failed. Geoffrey Voss is now Master of Rolls. Andrew Hockhauser became not only one of the most eminent Labour silks, but Treasurer of Middle Temple. And then there was, of course, me. So just to run through. Degree at 20, member of the bar at 21, youngest silk in history, save Pitt the Younger, who cheated, I reckon, because he became an honorary silk as a result of becoming Prime Minister at 21. I don't think we can count him. At 35, I then went on to become Master of Middle Temple, the youngest Master, the youngest Deputy High Court Judge, then on to becoming the first black woman to become a member of the House of Lords with one other, the first minister, and number of ministerial, first, and then I became the first woman since 1315. To be appointed Her Majesty's Attorney General for England, Wales and Northern Ireland, and now I'm the first woman to be Secretary General of the Commonwealth. And I'm the 10th of my parents' 12 only children. So what I'm saying to you is, they didn't think Geoffrey Voss could get to be a practicing practitioner, and he didn't get that tenancy. It was the best thing that ever happened to him. Andrew Hockhauser didn't succeed in getting that tenancy. It was the best thing that happened to him. I did not succeed in getting that tenancy. It may have been the best thing that happened to me. So don't let what looks like failure stand in your way, because quite often it is the gateway to enable you to do something extraordinary that you never believed was possible. If someone had said to me, as I sat in your place, that I would do any of the things I have done, I would have laughed like a drain and told you you were crazy. Well, life is crazy. And life is what you make of it. And the most important thing I would say to you is never lose heart, but also remember that the most important thing is your humanity, kindness, loving each other. Because as you go on this journey, you will need your friends, you will need your family, and never surrender your integrity for a quick fix. Your integrity is everything. And if you retain these friendships, know that they will last a lifetime. The people I did my degree with are still my friends today. And they're not my friends because I became the Secretary General or the fact that I became a silk. They're my friends because they're my friends. And so really rejoice today. Hug your families close. Tell them, if you've never told them before, how much you love, appreciate, and thank them for everything they've given to you. And then I want you to pay it forward, so that when young people come to you, you will be ready to be their guide. Because let me tell you, whether you like it or not, each and every one of you is now going to be someone's hero or heroine. They're going to look up to you and say, wow, they got a degree from Buckingham. So you are going to be someone's leader, someone's opportunity to believe it's possible. And so I'm thanking you in advance. I'm thanking you for choosing to be a lawyer. I'm thanking you for all the bad days that are to come. I'm going to thank you in advance for not giving up. And I'm going to wait to rejoice when I see how high you fly, because you're going to fly very, very high indeed. So I'm now going to ask all your friends, all your family, to do what you've just done with them. I'm going to ask them whether they will show their love, their appreciation, their joy, their pride in what you have achieved. And I've got a feeling, since there's more of them, that they may be able to make more noise. What do you think? Do you think? Do you trust them? Do you think they're up for this? I don't think they sound very convinced about you. I think they think you lot may not be able to do it. But do you think you can do this? Are you sure you can do this? Do you want to do this? Okay. Watch them. You can mark them out of 10, okay? You can go if you think they've done okay. So you ready for that? You're going to mark them. Hip, hip! Hip, hip! Hip, hip! I reckon they did better than you. Now, those who know me know that if I really love you, and by the way, just so you know, you are all mine. Just in case there was any question about this, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, sorry for you, they're all mine. The parents, all of them, because as Commonwealth Secretary-General, I have 2.6 billion people, of which you are part. So, Chancellor, you're mine as well. So, if you will allow me, I'd like to give you the blessing that my mother, who's no longer with me, always gave me and the rest of my family when we were going on a journey, and she wanted us to go well. She would say, and this is what I'm saying to each of you, may the Lord bless and keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you and be merciful unto you all the days of your life. May your guardian angel walk beside you. And may the Lord keep you safe in the palm of his hand. So go with God.
The Chancellor will now conclude this ceremony.
Oh dear, follow that. So, thank you, Lady Scotland, for that really remarkable and very inspirational address. I'm very pleased to be one of your 2.6 billion loyal members of the Commonwealth. I particularly enjoyed the fine parallel you drew between law and justice, so important for us all to understand. And I was intrigued that you are launching or have launched an initiative in AI. I wonder if we could use that new tool to sort out which part of the Vice-Chancellor's speech was written by ChatGPT. Well, as the registrar said, this ceremony is now drawing to its close. May I again congratulate all our new graduates and wish you all good fortune in the next stage of your careers. As you leave the university, you will take with you, wherever you go and whatever you do, and throughout your life, the knowledge and skills you've acquired here, which will enable you to fly on your own wings, as the Vice-Chancellor has said. This ceremony is now concluded.
Please be upstanding.